What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Gaff here, and today we're going to be talking about multiplying fractions. Yeah! Now, I'm super excited to make this video, and I know what you're probably thinking. Mr. Gaff, you get excited about dirt. Oh yeah? So what? Dirt's sweet. Deal with it. The reason I'm so excited to make this video is because I think people have this fear of fractions, right? And especially when it comes to multiplying fractions, it's not that bad. You can do it. I believe in you. Out of all the four operations of fractions, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, I think multiplication is the easiest, and I'll tell you why.
Or am I going to keep it a secret? Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Oh, that's the end of the video. Oh, it's a secret. Oh, good video. Lots of views then. Yes, I've done a great job here teaching the masses about fractions.
The reason I think multiplying fractions is super easy is because, drum roll, lighter. Ooh, that's better. The reason I think multiplying fractions is so easy is because you do not need an LCD. That's kind of the biggest pain in the butt when you're adding and subtracting fractions. Trying to find an LCD between 9 and 7
Is a pain in the boot.
With multiplying and dividing, you don't need to do that, right? You just take what they give you. It's like when you get a gift basket.
You just take the basket and you say, oh, what's in the basket? Well, I got some soap. I might use that. I've got some nail filers. I'm not going to do that. I bite mine. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, chocolate. Oh, caramel.
Caramel. Caramelized onions. I don't get that. There's no caramel on those onions. Somebody needs to go back to the drawing board with that name. So you do not need an LCD, which is awesome because it makes multiplying fractions very simple. One other really important thing I want to mention before we get into how to multiply fractions is that when you're multiplying fractions, you have to realize what a fraction actually is, right? A fraction is part of a whole. So if I had the fraction 1/4, 1 represents the amount of pieces that we have, 4 represents the amount of pieces in the whole. So I have 1 out of a total 4 pieces in one whole. If I had 4 pieces, that would equal 1, which is why any number over itself as a fraction, 4/4, 7/7, 8/8, actually just equals 1. One thing that you always have to remember when you're multiplying fractions is that the product, which is the answer to your problem, is always going to be less than the two factors. This is because you are multiplying by a number less than 1. So any fraction is a number less than 1. So if you're multiplying by a number less than 1, you're going to get a number that's smaller than either of the two factors for your product. Just something really important to remember so you can kind of check your answers in your head and be like, well, that number's bigger than either of those two numbers. Then I done goofed. I done goofed it somehow. Did my multiplications off. Maybe Charlie was booming in my ear and I just did something wrong. Maybe the sun was in my eyes, you know? The sun's in my eyes, I can't do math! Okay, so let's just jump right into it. It's really not that bad. This video won't be very long because multiplying fractions is something you can all do. I believe in you. Let's say we wanted to multiply 1/2 times 1/4. All you're doing when you're multiplying is you're going across. You're multiplying the numerators by the numerators, the denominators by the denominators, keeping them all on the same level, and simplifying. And that's really it. Simplify, please, though. Simplify, please, though. Simplify, please, though. Simplify. This is my simplified dance. It's not very good. I gotta work on it. I'm gonna hurt myself. That won't work. That won't be good. All right, so let's say we want to multiply 1/2 times 1/4. We would multiply just straight across. We do 1 times 1, which is 1, and we do 2 times 4, which is 8. So 1/2 times 1/4 is 1/8. Woo! That's it. Just go across and simplify. That's it. Now sometimes you can run into some pretty big denominators and numerators when you're multiplying fractions. Let's say we did something like 7/8 times 5/7. Those are pretty big numbers. You're going to get some pretty big numerators and denominators. We just go straight across. 7 times 5 is 35. 35 is going to be the numerator for our product. 7 times 8, which is 56. That's going to be the denominator for our product. So we have 35, 56.
35, 56.
I'll spit a lot there.
Rain and spit. Remember, children, you always must simplify.
If you're paying attention, you've noticed that I've suddenly switched outfits.
Good for you.
That's because when I was editing this video, I realized that I made a mistake. I got our product, 35/56, was in simplest form.
But I was wrong.
Oh, he was wrong. I was wrong. No. It's okay. People make mistakes, but I wanted to come back and tell you why I made this mistake. Fractions can be simplified using a prime number. In this case, the number 7. So to put our fraction in simplest form, we take 35, we divide it by 7, and we get 5. We take 56 and we divide it by 7, and we get 8. So our final product for this problem is not actually 35/56, but 5/8.
I made a mistake. It's delicious. It's medium rare.
So now that I've cleared that up, I'm going to send you back to the younger and less wise version of moi. Another way to think about multiplying fractions, like I said earlier, your product is always going to be less than the two factors. So if you were to replace the multiplication symbol with the word of, that's a nice kind of way to visualize how this is going to go down. Let's go back to our first problem. If we had 1/2 times 1/4, and we replaced our multiplication symbol with the word of, it would help explain what we're going to do. So we're looking for 1/2 of 1/4. Now if I were to draw a model out like this, I could see that I have 1/4. If I need a 1/2 of a fourth, I'm going to break my model up the same exact way, and I'm going to see that 1/2 of a fourth is an eighth. If you want to think about fractions that way, you can. Think about the multiplication symbol as really just of. 1/3 of 1/2 is just going to be 1/6. You can either multiply across or you can use a model to break it up.
Break it up. Break it up, you guys. Break it up. Stop fighting. Break it up. Break it up. Break it up. Break it up. Try to get past these. Try and get past these babies. Try and get past these babies. Me and my arms. Try and get past these babies. Ooh. 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 All right, let's do one more before I leave, right? We got 1/3 times 12/13. Big numbers. Don't worry about it. Just go across. 1/3 times 12/13. 1 times 12 is 12. That's going to be the numerator for our product. 12. We have 12 over 3 times 13, which is going to be 39. So our answer would be 12/39. 12/39. Now 39 cannot be divided by 2, so we can't simplify it that way, but if you divide it by 3, we have something. 12 can also be divided by 3, so let's divide 12 by 3, get 4, and divide 39 by 3, get 13. Our final answer, or our final product. What a great product. Oh, you've got a great product here. It's marvelous, this product. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, I love it. I want to take it home. I want to take the product home with me. So the final product will be 4/13. I switched my voice to make sure you're still paying attention. I hope you are. That's really it with multiplying fractions, guys. It's really not that bad. This is going to be kind of a short video. Yay! You guys can do this. All you do is go across, right? You multiply the numerators by the numerators, the denominators by the denominators. As long as you're multiplying by a fraction less than 1, or a proper fraction and not an improper fraction, then your product will be less than that of the two factors. If you're multiplying by mixed numbers, remember you have to turn your mixed numbers into improper fractions first, but if you're just multiplying straight up proper fractions, your product will be less than the two factors. That's a good way to just double check your answer. Make sure that your product is smaller than the two big boys you're multiplying.
You can also think about the multiplication symbol in terms of. You're taking part of a part, or part of a fraction. Sometimes fraction language can get a little bit confusing, so if you don't want to think about all that, just multiply across and simplify, please. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a fantastic day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I'm starving. Starving. I need some chicken. Buff chick time.